The morning light was slow to rise. It painted gold on the edge of the bed, across Jungkook's cheek, where soft lashes still fluttered in sleep. Taehyung didn't move, didn't dare to. He'd woken up like this before, back when they were still pretending to be okay. But this time, it was different. Because this time, Jungkook had kissed him back. This time, he had said stay without saying a word. Taehyung's hand hovered beside Jungkook's sleeping face, unsure whether to touch or just keep watching. But Jungkook shifted first. Eyes opening slowly, brows furrowed from the remnants of a heavy night. His gaze found Taehyung's, and for a moment, neither of them spoke. Then, "You didn't run," Jungkook whispered. Taehyung smiled faintly. "Neither did you." Jungkook's eyes welled with something unspoken. Something fragile. "I was scared you'd disappear if I closed my eyes too long." "I'm here," Taehyung said gently. "Still me. Still yours, if you want that." Jungkook sat up slightly, wrapping the blanket around himself like a shield. "I don't know how to stop being afraid." Taehyung stayed quiet for a beat before replying. "Then let me be afraid with you. Not against you." Jungkook looked down, fingers knotting the blanket. "That night you said her name." "I know," Taehyung said quickly. "I know what I did. And I want to explain. Not because it'll fix it, but because you deserve the truth." Jungkook nodded once, tightly. Taehyung sat up beside him, the morning light soft against their skin. "It was during a time when I had lost myself, Kook. I thought about everything I wasn't, everything I couldn't be for you. And I remembered how simple things were back then. I wasn't missing her. I was mourning who I used to be. Before I ruined this." Jungkook bit his lip, voice small. "And now I don't want simple anymore," Taehyung said. "I want us. The real version. Even the messy parts. Even the mornings where you can barely look at me." Jungkook turned to him then, slowly, eyes glassy but no longer guarded. "You hurt me," he whispered. "I know, you made me feel invisible." Taehyung's voice cracked. "I never stopped saying you. I was just too ashamed to face you." Silence stretched again, full of pain and longing. But this time, Jungkook didn't push him away. He leaned in instead, forehead to forehead, nose brushing lightly. "If we do this again, no more half promises. No more pretending." Taehyung nodded, breath catching. "Only if you'll stay this time." "I'll stay," Jungkook whispered. "But don't let go again." "I won't," Taehyung vowed. "Even if I have to keep proving it every single day." Their lips met again, slow, uncertain, hugging. Not for passion. Not for lust. Just to say, "I'm still here. I'm still trying. And I still love you." It was supposed to be a quiet weekend. Just them. No phones. No schedules. No distractions. Just a drive to the coast, to that small inn with creaky floors and old records stacked in the corner. They had gone there once before, years ago, when their love was still shiny and unbroken. Taehyung had called it a reset. Jungkook wasn't sure what to call it. A test, maybe. Or a question they were both too scared to ask. But they went. The drive was mostly quiet. Not cold, just cautious. As if they were both afraid a single wrong word might knock down everything they'd rebuilt so carefully. When they arrived, the air smelled like sea salt and wet wood. "It hasn't changed," Jungkook murmured, stepping onto the porch. Taehyung gave a faint smile. "Neither have we." Jungkook turned to look at him. "I think we've changed a lot." he said. But maybe not all of it was bad. Taehyung didn't answer. He just reached for Jungkook's suitcase, carrying it like a silent apology. They checked into the same room. Room 203. Where Jungkook had once said I love you for the first time, muffled by Taehyung's neck, buried in a warm embrace and soft cotton sheets. It looked smaller now. Or maybe time just made things feel bigger in hindsight. Later that evening, they sat outside, wrapped in mismatched sweaters from the inn's dusty closet. Taehyung poured them both tea. I never asked you, he said slowly. What hurt more, the night I said her name, or the nights I said nothing at all? Jungkook's grip on his mug tightened. The silence. Always the silence. Taehyung nodded, like he expected that. I used to count how many times you turned away from me in bed, Jungkook confessed. Like maybe if I turned first, you'd chase me. I wanted to, Taehyung said. I just forgot how. They didn't speak for a while after that. The ocean roared in the distance. Then Jungkook looked up. Do you remember the boardwalk? Taehyung's eyes softened. Where you beat me at that impossible ring toss I cheated, Jungkook laughed. I know, Taehyung smirked. I let you. They went there the next morning. The same stalls, the same faded carousel, the same old man selling fried dough that tasted like powdered sugar in childhood. As they walked, Taehyung's hand brushed against his. Just once. And this time, Jungkook reached back. Fingers interlocked. They didn't say anything about it. Didn't need to. Because years ago, they had walked the same path without holding hands. And maybe that had been the first crack. So now, they held tight. Even when it got awkward. Even when their palms started sweating. Even when neither of them knew exactly what this weekend meant. Because this time, they were choosing not to let go. The night was quiet again. But this time, it was different. There was no distance between them, not on the creaky bed in room 203, not in the way Taehyung brushed his hand against Jungkook's thigh under the blanket, tentative, careful. Jungkook didn't move away. Because for the first time in what felt like years, he didn't want to. They lay like that for a while, neither asleep, neither speaking, hearts beating in the space between breaths. Do you think, Taehyung whispered into the dark, you could ever fall in love with me again? Jungkook didn't answer right away. Because truthfully, he didn't know if he ever stopped. Instead, he turned, facing Taehyung now, their noses almost brushing, eyes struggling to find each other in the dim glow of the moon leaking through the curtain. I don't think love ever left, Jungkook murmured. I think we just stopped feeding it. Taehyung's breath hitched. Jungkook reached up, fingers ghosting over the edge of Taehyung's jaw. His skin was warm, soft, familiar in a way that made Jungkook ache. Taehyung closed his eyes. And when Jungkook kissed him, slowly, hesitantly, he kissed him back like he had been holding his breath for months. No urgency. No desperation. Just care. Like he knew every scar behind that kiss, and kissed it anyway. Taehyung's hand slid up his back, pulling him closer. Jungkook let himself be held, one arm curling around Taehyung's neck, the other trembling where it gripped the sheets. Their foreheads pressed together. Nothing more. Just quiet closeness. A reconnection. You used to touch me like I was fragile, Jungkook whispered. Taehyung swallowed. You were, and now, Taehyung said, voice unsteady, you feel like home. Jungkook buried his face into the crook of his husband's neck. And this time, he didn't cry. He just breathed, slowly, deeply, into the place that had once made him feel unloved. Because Taehyung wasn't touching him like someone haunted anymore. He was touching him like someone ready to stay. And for now, that was enough. The morning was golden. Soft sunlight filtered through the curtains of room 203, dancing along the edges of the bed where two bodies lay entwined, no longer bound by guilt or memory, but by something gentler. A choice. Jungkook stirred first. He didn't open his eyes at first. Just felt it, the slow, steady rise and fall of Taehyung's chest beneath his cheek, the strong arms still around him like a promise. For once, he didn't want to run from the morning. He wanted to stay. "You're awake," came a low whisper above his head. Jungkook nodded. He didn't lift his head. "Did you sleep well for the first time in months?" Taehyung replied, fingers drawing lazy circles along his spine. "Because you're here. Because we are okay." "Are we?" Jungkook finally looked up, eyes meeting his husband's. And for the first time, there was no fear in them. "I think we're getting there," he said softly. "We'll have more fights. More moments where we forget how to talk. But last night, the way you held me," he exhaled shakily. "It didn't feel like the past. It felt like now." Taehyung brushed a stray strand of hair from Jungkook's forehead. "I'll never call you by the wrong name again, I know," Jungkook whispered. "But it was never just the name, Hyung. It was the way I felt like a placeholder." "I know," Taehyung admitted, voice breaking. "And I will spend the rest of my life proving that you were never second. You were just the one I was too afraid to lose, so I kept you at a distance." Jungkook touched his chest gently. "Don't love me from afar anymore." "I won't, then," with a shaky breath, Jungkook asked. "What about her? Are you still haunted by her?" Taehyung didn't hesitate. Not even for a second. "No," he said. "She's just a chapter. You are the whole story." Jungkook kissed him then, soft, slow, the kind of kiss that meant "thank you," and "I forgive you," and "I still love you," all at once. Later that day, they packed their bags, checked out of the inn with quiet smiles and warm hands clasped tightly together. On the drive home, Jungkook reached across the console and held Taehyung's hand, like he used to. Like he was ready to begin again. And when they walked into their apartment, the same one that once echoed with silence and resentment, it felt different. Not because the furniture changed, but because they did. That night, they slept in the same bed, not as broken strangers trying to rebuild something lost, but as two husbands, choosing each other again. No excess. No fear. Just love, imperfect, healing, real.